make sure say you carry your pikin. No matter anything wey your pikin dey do, whether you stubborn or you dey fight, make sure say you just draw am come close to your side, like take good care of the person very well, because if you pursue am comot for house, you no know wetin you go later end up become. Just like me now wey dey do ashawo reach today, my papa pursue me when I been from village come back to Abuja. Now I don end up to become a prostitute, a professional one for that matter, wey be say to stop am now dey hard me. People don talk, I no dey hear them.
So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. In today's video, we're going to be talking about none other but Abuja area mama who was allegedly murdered a few days ago. But wait. I know that some of you, especially the guys, will be like, Neze, please, I'm not interested in this talk. We don't want to know, we don't care. He got what he deserved. I beg Neze, before I get angry, bring us another talk, bring us another gist, bring us another story. We are not interested in this one. But no, I'm not just bringing us gossip or gist. You can trust that that's not what we're solely about. I'm gonna tell us a story. A background story, a story that so many of us are not aware of, a story that comes with lessons, a story that addresses a common mistake that many of us made, especially our parents, a story that we should rub minds on. So listen and listen thoughtfully. Let me tell us the story of Africa's most popular gay prostitute, Abuja area mama. Ifeanyi Benedict was born on the 20th of April 1991. He hails from Ebonyi State, but he was born and bred in Gwagwalada, Abuja. For as long as Ifeanyi could remember, I mean as far back as when he was in nursery school, Ifeanyi had always spoken, acted, and behaved like a woman.
When I was very small, I normally behave like a girl.
He would try styling his hair like a girl. He preferred feminine clothes. He would put on his mother's heely shoes. Those days we called them coin shoes. He would wear his mother's coin shoes and take those girly steps and catwalk around the house. He was interested in everything girl stuff, but never had an iota of interest in cars and wrestling and all of those stuff that would typically appeal to a male child. Ever since he was 6, 7, 8, ever since he knew himself, that was what he found out. So let me chip in this question before we proceed with the story. Homo people have argued. I'll use the word homo more than gay. Homo people have argued. They have contended that it is the height of ignorance and wickedness for them to be loathed or despised because of their sexual orientation or preferences. They argue that they cannot help it. Just as one is born black or brown-eyed or blonde-haired, that is exactly how they were born. That they grew up discovering themselves as teenagers and young adults not having any form of sexual attraction to the opposite sex. Not their making, not because they voluntarily chose to be that way. That was how they ended up seeing themselves, just as a straight person will see themselves being attracted to the opposite gender. They claim that they do not have any control on how they turn out. What do you think? Do you believe this? If you do, drop in the comment section. And if you disagree, also drop in the comment section to buttress your points, especially considering the story on our plate right now. The story of area mama, Abuja area mama, who said she saw herself as a child, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, behaving differently, not behaving like a boy, behaving like a woman, tilting towards being feminine, acting all effeminate, Just like that. So do you believe, honestly, pragmatically, in the theory of a woman being trapped in a man's body and a man being trapped in a woman's body? Or would you rather bring up religious positions that God does not make a mistake? Let us have this conversation down in the comment section. So let's proceed. But before we do, hey, quick reminder, if you're new here, you are seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your comments. This video should be very engaging because there are lots to learn from it, and stay glued because there is so much more coming your way. Let us proceed. So there Area Mama was, then known as Ifeanyi Benedict, acting all girly and effeminate, and if you beat him, like, you know what I'm talking about now. Every one of us have seen one or two of such people around us. I had one of them too when I was growing up. I had that boy in my vicinity that would go even as a baby, tilting towards girly, playing with sand, playing with Barbie dolls, and those kinds of things. Do you get what I mean? So that was Abuja Area Mama. And before they knew it, people began to notice and observe the unusualness about him. How different he was from his age mates, from his fellow boys, and they began to get very uncomfortable. They began bringing his parents' attention to that. They were like, Bianna, can't you see your son? Can't you see how your son is behaving weird and different? They advised his parents to stop him immediately. But according to him, his parents didn't pay no mind to those observations.
So that time I normally behave like a girl. Like my mom, like my parents thought that is a normal thing. Like people was telling them that they should try to stop me. They should try and stop me from behaving like a girl. They did not take it serious. They thought it's a normal something.
So again, we will discuss down in the comment section. What do you think about this point? This video is going to be very interactive and educative. We're going to rub minds a lot. Do share your thoughts down below, because we're not just talking a gay guy or gay whatever. We are taking life lessons from this video. So as an African mom, an African dad, or a Christian parent, or a Muslim parent, I know there might be some liberals amongst us. Those like Gabrielle Union, who if her son says, I want to put on earrings as a child, she would dress him like a girl and wear him skirts. I know there are people like that that are that liberal. We respect you, we love you. It is your kettle of fish, but this particular question is not really for you. I'm talking to the conservatives. If you are that conservative parent who is not a strong advocate of LBGQT, if I'm correct, and you see your child predispositioned towards acting in the opposite gender. You have a daughter who is acting all, like a man, or you have a son who is doing the whole like a girl. How do you think that situation should be approached? It's a child, don't forget. This is a child. They do not know what they are doing. It's not their fault. They can't be blamed. They're still very little. I'm talking 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years. What do you do in that situation? And how do you suggest that Area Mama's parents should have handled that when they saw such tendencies manifesting? Do you think they were wrong for not doing anything at all? Let us proceed. So Abuja Area Mama disclosed that she was introduced to backdoor intercourse as little as when he, oh my God, I don't even know the pronouns I'm using. I use she in this sentence, I use he. Okay, let me address him by his God-given gender. Apologies to those that it might offend. So he said that he got introduced to backdoor intercourse as little as when he was 9 years, 10 years, thereabouts. According to Area Mama, homosexuality in men is very rampant though. It is more common and rampant than the society projects it or than we imagine. He said that we get to know of the ones that are like women, because of how they appear, but there are many of them that play the male role that are still masculine like a man, but they swing in that other direction, or they swing both ways. Both single and married men, lots of them. And those ones are shy, they're ashamed of who they are. They are not as open as the female version of them. It is very, very rampant. So he said that it is these kinds of men that introduced him to homo activities as well as anal intercourse right from when he was below 10 years. These uncles, these brothers, these bros them in the vicinity, in the yard, in the area, will call him and lure him with little things, sweets, chewing gum, biscuits, baba dudu, and all those kinds of things. Lure him, fine boy, come and take. When he goes, they will take him into their room and do all sorts of profanities on him.
Come collect this biscuit now. Come, I want that you bread. I want that you 15 naira. I want that you 20 naira. As you enter inside their house, they go give you the thing. They go remove your clothes, carry their agbola, they shook you. That time they will carry vaccine, they rub me for my bekus, my anus. They shook and small. If I dey shout, they go say, I go do and small. I pass. I don't want to talk everything from my mouth.
Day in, day out, one after the other, several of them, this man would take this little 9-year-old boy to their room. And guess what? He did not tell his parents. Now listen, dear parents. If your child, your 7-year-old, your 8-year-old, your 10-year-old, your 13-year-old is getting sexually violated or molested, and they cannot tell you, they cannot open up to you, they cannot confide in you, it is a sign of failure on your path. No matter the career attainment, no matter how well read, studied, or traveled you are, no matter the position you occupy in the society, if your child is going through this kind of thing under your nose and you do not observe, one, but even if you are caught slack for not observing, and the child still cannot open up to you without fear or shame because you have fostered an environment or a relationship where they do not feel confident and safe to tell you things, where they are unnecessarily scared of you, where you are a demigod, so strict and unapproachable, where you are too busy, you never listen, you don't ask questions, you don't pay attention. I'm sorry, it is not on that child, it's on you. So mommies, daddies, are you hearing me? Gone are the days when you leave the child and say it is only the woman that will talk about those things. Sex education is for women, this is for women, and me, my own is to go and provide. Now everybody is doing everything. Man and woman is providing, man and woman is involving, man and woman are raising children now. Because if something happens to that child and that child is ruined, you would suffer, you would cry, you will feel pain, you will feel guilt. It's a collective effort. Mommy and daddy, shine your eyes. The world is a wicked place. So yes, Abuja area mama became a pass around for all these devilish, evil, gay uncles and brothers around the vicinity where he used to live. And that kept going on and on. Now, because of area mama's feminine appearance and the way she dresses and the way she spoke softly and behaved like a girl, she became an easy target for bullies and bullying. So people would just waylay her on the streets and look for her trouble. She said she didn't used to look for trouble. She was pretty much on her own. But people, you know, if you grow up in these open places, you would know that such people are usually easy targets. People can just gather you for no reason and start to beat you up just by virtue of, you know, your appearance or your sexuality. So she was an easy prey. She was beaten, hounded, bullied, accosted, stripped, and, you know, humiliated. And at a point, she began to fight back. She said that she was very strong. One blow, two apples. Very strong. She could take down 3 or 4 people in a fight.
I used to fight people like, I don't used to look for their trouble. They are the one that used to come and find my trouble. So that time I was very strong. That time people they 3, 4, 5, they fight only me that time.
She had to oh my God, I'm lost on the pronouns again. He had to toughen up and face his aggressors. So everyday fights. And because of his natural strong nature, he would beat these people blue back, and they would go back to their parents, and their parents would come to his home with fights, coming to fight his parents and see what your child has done to my child. So every day it was one issue after the other. This fight has happened, that fight has happened. Abuja area mama disclosed that at some point his parents got sick and tired of the constant reporting and the constant fights. But personally, I think that there was more. I believe that it wasn't solely based on this. I think that his parents were ashamed of him. They were disgusted at what he was. They were irritated by who he was becoming. And so on this fateful day, they bundled him like someone trying to beat the clock, and they shipped him to the village in Ebonyi State, dropped him with his grandmother, and abandoned him there.
So my parents, they get tired of me. They say they have to send me to the village before I go give them hypertension.
He said that not only did his parents abandon him at his grandmother's, they made no single arrangement or provision for him. His welfare, his feeding, clothing, nothing. They didn't send a dime to his grandmother to take care of him, to sustain him. So he wasn't feeding well, no clothes, he wasn't going to school, he was just living like a destitute. He would go around the relation's house scraping up for food, and his father's siblings, or is it his mother's siblings, will feed their children but will not give him any food. Even before they give him gari to soak, they will make sure that he does all the chores, fetch water, sweep, everything from morning till night before they give him small gari to soak.
So when I was in the village, I started suffering. The suffering was too much. And even that my mother and my papa was not sending money to my grandmother. They was not sending food store. I was not going to school.
And when he saw himself dying of hunger, he had to reignite that thing that he started in Abuja. He had to take it up as a full profession, selling his body for food at the age of 10. He said that all these uncles and brothers in the village would take advantage of him. They would offer him small gari to drink and tell him to come to their room first. And they would do everything to that little boy that was below 11 years, just for a slice of bread or some gari to chew. And that was how he began prostituting himself at the age of 10, 11 to feed in the village. In 2006, when he clocked 15, having prostituted for over 4 years, he was not coping. The hunger, the deprivation was too much for him to bear. He was dealing with child gay prostitution. He was dealing with abandonment issues. He was dealing with abject lack and poverty, no school, nothing. And he said, no, my parents are still alive. Let me go back home. He said that his grandmother did not have any money to give him to transport himself back to Abuja. So he had to take his wretched self with his bathroom slippers chopped up, his clothes filled with holes and dirt. He trekked to a nearest park and started begging the drivers there, begging them that they should please just give him a lift to Abuja, even if he has to sit on the floor. He was begging from one bus to the other. Eventually, he found someone that assisted him, and then that was how he left Ebonyi State back to Abuja. One would think that when he got home, his family, seeing him emaciated, haggard, tattered and shrunken, will have mercy on him and open their arms and receive him just like the prodigal son. But no, the moment his father set his eyes on him, oh my God, he ran to the store, pulled out the machete and began chasing him, that he was going to kill him. How dare you come back to my house? Who gave you the right to come back to my house? If you know where you're coming from, you better get out and go back there. I do not want to see your feet in my home. If you cannot go back there, get away and go and rot on the streets. And then his father pushed him out into the night, into the cold, dangerous streets.
So when I came back to Abuja now, that night, I reached my house, our house. My papa carried cutlass, pursuing me for house.
Walking aimlessly, destitute, with nowhere to go, he wandered around like a stray animal. Shoulders hunched, hot tears streaming down his face. He walked to a shop and then he saw a lady. Let me call her Auntie Caro. Auntie Caro was a pretty hairdresser from Edo State. She had a small hair salon at the adjoining street where Abuja area mama used to live. Before he was sent to the village, he would go to Auntie Caro's shop and help her to sweep, wash the towels, clean around, run her errands. And at the end of the day, Auntie Caro would give him 10 naira or 20 naira.
That I don't get. Before I go back to village, my papa sent me back to village. I've been there help and they do all this small work, like I go pack the tea, sweep shop for them, mop everywhere for them for shop now, hairdresser.
So when he saw Auntie Caro was like, Ifani, where have you been? Why are you looking like this? Where are you coming from? And then Ifani narrated the whole story to her, how he went to the village, suffered and everything, and how his parents kicked him out, and how he didn't have anywhere else to go. Auntie Caro looked at him and took pity upon him. She warned him that he should never tell his parents that she took him in, or if not, it was going to cause trouble between them. And he promised. So she took him in to come and live with her. The arrangement is that he will do the chores around the house, do the cleaning, the sweeping, the mopping, everything. And in turn, she would house him and feed him. He was very fine with that arrangement.
So I now carry my bag, follow her to her house that night. She can't give me a lot. She say, you go to help me, they wash clothes, they do work for me, they do small work for me, and I'm going to feed you. Is that okay with you? I say yes.
So every night after shop, after working at the hairdressing salon, Auntie Caro would leave him at home and go out in the night and come back the next morning. After some time, he got curious. He was like, Auntie, every night you go out, you come back the next morning. Where do you work, Auntie? And Auntie Caro told him that she works in a hotel. Little did he know that Auntie Caro was a full-time prostitute. One day, Auntie Caro called him and sat him down. She told him that, look at you, my dear. You are so beautiful. You have this face of a woman. You're attractive and you behave like a woman. Why are you wasting your talent? Why are you wasting your gifts? You have all it takes. Oh, there are some big alahajis, big Ohibo men that like people just like you. Come, let me show you how to make money for yourself. At that point, Abuja Mama was trying to pretend like he didn't understand what Auntie Caro was saying. And he was like, Auntie Caro, she said, relax. Benusan, keep quiet. What are you talking about? Let me show you the way. And so Auntie Caro began. She would make his hair, wear him makeup, put jewelries on him, dress him up like a woman. And then they would go to a bar in Sheraton Hotel Abuja, where prostitutes gather to do their hustle. She would buy him a bottle of Coke, go out there, negotiate with these men that love little gay children, and then she would come back with the man and tell him, follow that Oga there, make him happy, do him well. He would go with these men and they would have their fill with him without protection, no condoms. He was only 15. So that was how it started and that was how it continued. Every night, Auntie Caro would dress him up, take him out and pimp him out. And then she would go for her own work, her own hustle, her own prostitution. It continued from that 2006 when he was 15 all the way to 2010 when he was 19 and Auntie Caro was collecting all the money. Sometimes you will get clients of 50,000, 100,000 because he said that it was more expensive when you agree to have the intercourse without protection. And he was doing it without protection. So he was well priced. Auntie Caro will collect 50,000, 100, some jobs 150, some jobs 200. And he wasn't seeing any money. Maybe once in a while, Auntie Caro will just give him 1,000 naira and she will pocket the rest. And there he was doing the whole work. Some nights he would service up to 6 or 7 men in one night.
These guys, then they knock. Then they knock fine. They are knocking, man. Now crazy knocking. I say today and today. Even much you don't collect 60,000. You go do the work of 60,000 finish today. This nothing.
So on this fateful day in 2010, Auntie Caro had connected him to one big Alhaji. And Alhaji had taken him to the hotel room and they had done all they had to do. He was bold for the first time because he was grown now. He was an adult, he was 19. So he was bold for the first time, he was beginning to have sense. He asked Alhaji, Alhaji, where's my money? Pay me my money. And Alhaji was like, and which money? I have already paid your madam.
Connect me to one Alhaji. So she connect me to the Alhaji. After me and the Alhaji do something finish, I say, Alhaji, pay me my money. Alhaji tell me, say, she don't pay my madam money. I say, child, how long this kind of thing will continue? This girl don't overuse me.
He pinched himself. When Alhaji had his phone and got into the bathroom to take a shower, he got hold of Alhaji's money and he stole the money and he ran off. He didn't go back to the home that he used to share with Auntie Caro. He went to an uncompleted building. He stayed there for like 2 days. After 2 days, he went back home to Auntie Caro and Auntie Caro appeared at the front door, visibly upset and mad. She asked him, why did you steal from Alhaji my connect that I gave you? And Abuja area mama tried explaining to her that Auntie Caro, check him now. I've been working for you, I've been laboring and servicing for you for the past 4 years. Nothing to show for it. This money you are giving me is not enough, it's too small. And Auntie Caro lost it. She was mad. She began insulting him. Look at this piece of shit. This riffraff that I picked from the gutters. Do you now have the guts to challenge me? I feed you, I accommodate you, I show you the way, I give you runs, and now you feel your eyes are open, you're now asking me questions. Oh my God. Auntie Caro was very livid. She went inside the house, packed all his things, all his clothes, and flung it from the window. And there he was, homeless, penniless, out on the streets, nowhere to go. He decided to become an independent contractor, if you get my drift. He was no longer tied to his pimp, Auntie Caro. He was now going to fend for himself. He found his way and moved to an Ashawo quarters where prostitutes camp in their numbers, and every night he would throw on his wig, his makeup, his feminine clothes, and he would hit the streets. And there on the road, he would get clients that would pick him. Some days, servicing up to 7 men and coming back home with his purse full. Abuja area mama has disclosed on several occasions that in this his street job, his street business, as he calls it, he has seen a lot of trauma. He has been through a lot.
First of all, guys, I will not advise any of you to go into prostitution. Because even me that is doing it, I know what I'm going through in the work. I know what I'm passing through. I'm not even happy with my life.
He said that once he went out on a job with another girl, and that girl stole a client's 700,000 naira and did not tell him. So the next day he went back to that spot. The girl didn't follow him because of course she knows that she has stolen, but so she had to change spots. And the man who was stolen from came with street urchins, Agbero, in their numbers. I pounced on him with belts, bottles, different objects. They beat him till he was about dying. He stopped breathing, stripped him naked. He said it was then that they even saw that he was a man. He was just a hair's breadth away from death.
Something don't embarrass me pass for street we say, and it don't happen to me for street will shake my body. Now one certain time where they say, plenty people agboro gather me, beat me for we say too. Because of waiting one girl do.
He said that he has been this close to being killed for rituals. He escaped twice in Abuja and once in Lagos from kidnappers' den. He said that he has gone to prison 5 times on that same hustle. He has been attacked and physically assaulted severally. Only last year, he had a fallout with one of his clients who used cutlass to cut all over his body.
It not be their plan. When this guy carry 2 cutlass for hand, even the 5 people drag that guy, they go collect that cutlass for hand. People when they watch me and this guy, reach more than 20, they not fit come collect cutlass for this guy hand. But when this guy break bottle, whole bottle say he won't shoot me before he go carry cutlass, I hold my own bottle. Why are they naked? They tell me mama drop bottle. Drop and no hit the guy. I listen to them drop the bottle. The guy don't go house. They leave the guy go house. He house they far away from my house more. They leave and go house. Go jack 2 cutlass for me.
He had to go to a native doctor to do juju voodoo to protect himself from the dangers of walking on the streets. But he said that instead of protection, the Babala will give him attraction ring. That anywhere he goes to, different men will be proposing marriage to him. And while he did all that he did and experienced all that he experienced, Area Mama was very vocal and open about his life. He would take to social media to share these stories and to document everything. He said that he did that not to pass off the message that prostitution is fun and lucrative. No, he said that he does that to warn boys and girls out there because he gets hundreds of DMs every day. Girls and boys telling him, "Hey mama, help me. I'm broke. I'm a student. I don't have money. Help me. Connect me. I want to come and meet you in Abuja so you can connect me to this prostitution work that you're doing so I can be seeing small money to take care of myself." She said a lot of people have made a mentor out of him. So he had to show the real side, the dangers of prostituting on the streets.
Sometimes they're going to send me message for Instagram, for my DM, for Facebook, for TikTok, for my DM. Hey, mama, please help me. I dey suffer. I want to do a show. I want to come Abuja. I want to come stay with you. Make I follow you. They do a show work. Make you teach me how to do a show. Now, I'm going to hear different story. Sometimes I'm going to verse, they block them one by one.
And to enlighten people that was not an ideal way of life. Now, apart from the physical dangers that he had faced, he said that the most painful thing about the work is that you will never use the money to do anything reasonable or tangible. That all the money you get from prostituting will just be used to maintain yourself. Buy clothes, buy hair, buy jewelries. You cannot achieve anything. And that he is like useless, a useless entity. He's not even sure if his destiny is complete because he has done a lot. He described himself as condemned when talking about the number of men that he had slept with.
And the money where you go to get, you can never use it to help yourself. What you going to use that it now to buy clothes, buy this one, pay house rent, they shine, buy cream, you don't finish. But to use them like settle down, say you won't help yourself, you go there very hard.
He said that he would not like to get married, whether to a man or a woman, and that when he stops that business and gives his life to Christ, he would just prefer to remain single. He said that he really wants to stop this lifestyle. That it is not as easy to stop as some people may think, oh, that prostitution is one thing that when you start, it is very difficult to stop. But he wants to stop. He started it not because he liked it, but because of condition and frustration. He was not happy at all. And that if God can bless him for him to buy a house in Abuja where he can be living, give his life to Christ and stop prostituting on the streets.
My mind, where my mind then for town to buy house for inside town, gongo, like for Use 2 or Gwarimpa or Maitama or Jabi. I won't give better house there. Once I get them, I go stop and shower work, give my life to Christ.
Unfortunately, he neither built a house nor did he give his life to Christ. None of that happened. On Wednesday, the 7th of August, 2024, Abuja area mama took to his social media platforms to disclose that he was off as usual for business. He wanted to go see his boyfriend, his sugar daddy, as he usually addresses him. But that was the last we saw of him. The next day, Thursday, the 8th of August, his battered, bruised, and semi-naked body was found tossed along the expressway. His personal belongings were flung beside him. He was stone dead. He was only 33 years of age. There are several theories that have now emerged, but it is very clear that there is good reason to suspect that it was a homicide. Some people have alleged that this was a targeted attack, and that those people that he had that confrontation with, the people that used machetes to cut him, should first be arrested to come and give account that this was a targeted attack, that those people that attacked him last year came back to finish the job that they did. That may be, but I personally believe that it might be random, a random homophobic attack. Now there is one thing, Abuja area mama has always been open, very clear, that these men that pick her, these married men, these single men that come pick her from the streets, are usually under the impression that he is a woman. According to him, he said that the night is very big. A lot of crazy things happen at night. When decent human beings are asleep, a lot of crazy things happen out there on the streets. That some men are chronic drunks, while some others are hopeless womanizers who take leave of their senses when they sight anything in skirts. They don't even see the muzzles, they don't see that is flat chest, they don't see anything. Once they see something that looks like a woman, they are gone, they are finished. People's husbands. He said that his mode of operation is not to allow anything caress, anything of that nature, that he goes straight to the point. And for those that want to start doing all those lovey caress, oh, I want you to do this, I want to do this one to you, he said that he picks his bag and leave. Straight to the point business is the only one he does. So once they get into the room, he puts off the light and he assumes the behind position. And that these men never notice the difference.
Not say for night, you will see different type of woman be. Like some na drunk and then go club, go high, some na womanizer. So those womanizer now will be say they need to take eye see woman. And those ones will be drunk and they don't go club, go high. Now then they come across me.
If he did actually go to see his boyfriend or his sugar daddy, I do hope that his phone calls are also tracked and phone conversations pulled out. I cannot even guarantee if the police will give this case their 100. The gay guy talk more of a male prostitute. I have my doubts, I have my reservations on how seriously the police will take up this case, but I can only wish for the best. So this, my dear brothers and sisters, have brought a violent, abrupt end to the life of Abuja area mama, Ifani Benedict. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this whole story? What is your take home? What do you think? What can you share? Do you believe that he is a victim of circumstances and a victim of bad parenting? Or do you think that he is the sole and chief architect of his failure and his downfall? Do you think that he is a victim of his own bad choices? Do you also think that this is a sad fatal case of a biological disorder? Do you believe that people are born GAY? Do share your thoughts down in the comment section. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, And this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.
I never still solve my problem. It just be like say I dey into bondage. Like say they don't cost me for my life. So my advice for them is that make them no try to they do this kind of thing where they do. Anybody will be say you know say in eye or her eye dey for a shower work. Remove your eye for a shower work now mo. Go marry or go find better work they do. You when they even do work of 10,000 every month and they pay you salary 20,000. You are even better than me because when they pay you, that is you go sit down well. Like think what you go use that money to. But she get 100,000 this night or 200,000. She go, I won't go buy hair. I won't go buy clothes. Hey, I still want fine shoe. I like the shoe. I won't go buy phone. All those kind of a thing. Go buy. You no go use the money do better thing.